Hey everybody, thanks for pausing for a moment of science today. We're going to do a real quick activity that helps us with what we know about clouds. We know that when we talk and think about clouds that we think of precipitation, that we're going to get some kind of rain or some kind of snow and a few other things. But that's mainly where our minds go when we think of clouds. But in this activity, I want to show you where your mind should go when you think of clouds in terms of temperature, because clouds are fabulous insulators. And if you remember, the definition of insulator is it either holds the heat in or traps the heat out. It either blocks it out or it traps it in. Blocks it out or traps it in. That's the true definition of when we talk about insulators. So clouds will do the same thing. They will either block the heat out sometimes or they will trap the heat in. So an example of that would be, during the day, it's very obvious where our source of heat comes from. We know that during the day, that heat comes from the sun. And if we don't have a source of heat at night, well, it's going to be a really big problem because, well, it'll be the ice age every time the sun goes down. So lucky for us, the earth heats up all day long. Everything on the earth is being heated all day long. So the sidewalks, the ground, the rocks, the grass, the trees, the people, the houses, the dogs, that everything in the whole wide world is warming up all day long. And this is a really easy concept when you think about in the summertime. If you have walked barefoot, if you have touched a hot car, put on a seat belt, sat on leather seats with shorts on, you know how the sun is really good at heating things up. Now, even though we're moving in to colder weather, we still have the sun, we still have the heat, we're tilted away from the sun so we don't get quite as much, but it still spends all day long heating up our earth for us so that when the sun goes down, we still have a source of heat. So during the day, I have a flashlight and I have a piece of paper. So during the day, hello, your heat, let me turn these lights off, hang on. All right. Ooh. All right. During the day, our heat source comes from above, and that's the sun, of course. And at night, you still have heat or you'll freeze and die, but we don't have sun as heat anymore. We just have heat coming up from what has been heated on the earth. So, during the day, and I'll show you on my forehead, if it was a bright sunny day, I would be getting extremely warm. But if clouds move in during the day, what happens to the heat? Okay? So, as you can see, some of the light continues to move through the cloud, but it blocks, it's not that much. See? Big difference between that and that. Day, clear day, cloudy day, clear day, cloudy day. Okay, so if it's a clear day, it's going to be a warmer day. The temperature is going to be much, much warmer. It's going to heat things up more quickly, more easily, and to a higher temperature. But if it's a cloudy day, well, you're still getting a little bit of that heat come through, but it's not nearly as much. So my temperature is going to be a lot cooler. The ground, the earth, and things like that are still going to heat up, but just not as much. It's going to take much, much longer because you don't have that much sun coming through. You do have some. That's how you know it's daytime. So even on the cloudiest, overcast day outside, you still have enough heat and light that comes through that you can tell it's daytime, all right? You don't lose everything because of clouds. Now at night, it's a totally different story. So at night, your heat comes from below, okay? And as you know, heat rises. So the warm earth, the ground, the houses, the everything is warmed up. And then at night, when the sun goes down, well, there goes the heat. And it rises, okay? But if you have a clear sky, the heat, shunk, gone. It goes quickly and easily up into the atmosphere. And so you lose your heat very easily, which means on a clear night, it's going to be cooler. So a clear day is warmer, a clear night is cooler. Now watch this. If it is at night and the clouds roll in, well, what happened? Okay? See the difference? Look how much light and heat there is on this side compared to the top of the cloud. So some of the heat is still able to go through the cloud and up through the atmosphere, but most of the heat is actually trapped down here below the cloud. So on a cloudy night, it's actually going to be warmer. Who knew? Freeze! Learn your science.